Terra went through, it should have been banned. But you live and you learn.
Between the Papis and Sanguine. Again, if Sanguine win this game, that would force a three-way tie, and then we play in tiebreakers between the Papis, Sanguine, and of course Optimus Gang. But Papis trying to end it right here and right now. Terra and Susano, the first two bans. That Susano ban from Sanguine, not necessarily for jungle. That could be for Warchi and Hunter.
It's just
No, that ban's just because it's a strong guard, not because he plays it Hunter. Terra ban's good. Susano ban is good. I mean, me personally, if I was them, I would have gave him the Susano just because they play ADC. I would have said, just give him it, risk it. We know how to play against it. So I'd say that was a bad ban. Fafnir's through again. I'm not sure how his whatever. Fafnir's through. There's the bans because I'm an idiot and I leave the cam on every time. Tough ban. I don't know the reasoning behind that. It is an okay ban, I suppose, because they wanted to leave the Fafnir through after the Terror. But yeah, Ravana and Cern. Ravana gives a lot of pressure mid, so that's a good start. Cern, he's a really strong pick in general. He's definitely overrated, but you can pick him in this sort of game right now. Nemesis, low pressure jungle, so they could pick. They could have got away with a tough middle, so that's maybe why they banned it. They need to ban the Isis next and pick. They could pick a strong mage now if they wanted to. They have the next two picks, so they could also leave the Isis through and then pick it, but they have to take it away from Papis. I don't think Terra's the best, but if she gets away with some of the stuff, then she's really good. Or if she gets behind, she's still relevant as well. One good ultimate from Terra, and it can turn a team fight. Khepri ban, I like that. That's a really strong ban. Vulcan Medusa. I guess taking the Vulcan away is a safe ban because that's all he's picked so far. But the Medusa ban, I don't know about that. Cabrakan Khepri. The Khepri's a good one. Cabrakan's not bad too. I love this combo. Scylla Ravana. I think that's a really strong combo to have. A nice escape of Scylla from Nemesis, and then if she dashes, she can ult away and run. Cupid pick is okay. Okay, I guess. I think Rama would have been nicer though, for the lane pressure. But you could also have the Cupid for kill potential with Fafnir, because I think they have it. I don't like Poseidon. Don't like that pick. And he could have picked a different mage. I'm not sure at this point. Isis, I guess. And the Ymir. I don't like the Ymir. I think he should have picked Ares. I don't think you need to max the turret ult if you're ahead. I think it's when you're behind you have to max it. When you're ahead you can max other stuff.
We've got quite the fan base coming out of Spain, and you love to see how much energy they bring. Gorgonzola in a lot of trouble in the mid lane. Could be an early first blood here for the Papis, and Creed secures it around the backside. The solo laner assists and gets the kill. The Papis off to a good start.
Watching Creed do the same shit every single game is so frustrating, and get away with it.
Wrap around so casually into that mid lane. That's an easy first blood every single time if they're too far pushed up.
Yeah, I'm shocked more teams aren't just buying wards and putting them on the backside. I mean, it's not, I know it doesn't feel good to lose 100 gold in the early game, but supports usually aren't spending their entire early starting bank on pots, and yes, it technically delays your sovereignty or Mark of the Vanguard or whatever you're buying right after your boots, but man, it really hurts to give up that first blood in that mid lane. Gorgonzola on this Raven jungle, it's entirely designed to get ahead, right? And now we got first blooded.
What's even worse is because of Gorgonzola falling in the mid lane there, he fell to Bologna. Of all the gods in the game you wouldn't want to fall to early on and give a first blood up, having Creed with that extra 400 gold in hand is not only going to allow him to establish an even bigger presence in this solo lane, but I can expect that Sanguine won't be seeing buffs anytime soon on that side of the jungle either.
No, that's going to be the big key, is how well can Sanguine defend their buffs on that right-hand side. Something to keep an eye on moving forward. And you're right, Creed has looked very, very strong out of the solo lane, and can't really say the same for Alexi. Has really struggled for the most part today, and when you give up a first blood, like you mentioned, to a Bologna in that lane, in a lane matchup that you already don't really expect to get the better end. Yes, Sun Wukong can interrupt the bludgeon, but Bologna can just level the Scourge and is not really worried about getting her bludgeon interrupted because she still gets those cleave auto attacks right afterwards anyways.
Alexi has seemed like somebody who's really just let his confidence get the better end of him. He's made some really excellent...
So yeah, looking at the stats again, Boots level 1, Boots level 1. I don't think boots are necessary. You're always better getting the bonus mask. I think the Aegis pickup is pretty smart on the Ymir, but the Ymir pick shouldn't be there anyway. Should be an Aegis pickup on Ares or someone.
That first blood going Creed's way in the mid lane. Who are you really looking at to be Sanguine's hope here? Is it Dark Dodo in the mid lane on that Scylla?
It would probably be Boss, if anything, as the Kern in the dual lane. It's so easy for a hunter like this to just snowball out of control. And then when you combine that with the setup potential that Cherio could possibly provide, as well as Dark Dodo's damage, should this Scylla reach...
I feel like the Cupid and the Fafnir could be doing a lot more in lane to kill. They have the red buff and they have the best kill lane, whereas the Ymir and Cern, I think they would win the 2v2 if they actually fought.
Different start than a lot of hunters go for. He's gone for blue.
At level 4, that is anyway. Level 4 and level 1. I think at level 2, the Ymir probably has it in level 3, maybe.
Going early on.
I actually had a lot of discussion with Ataraxia about the health chalice when he was here for the Masters LAN, and he loves it so much because having the 3 health pots every single time you refresh and then come back into the lane, it helps to deal with a lot of the early game pressure. And Cupid, in all honesty, can be one of those hunters that's difficult to deal with.
Ultimate there onto Cherio, waiting for the Kraken, but he waits it out. Cherio uses an Aegis to get himself out of it, and Gorgonzola gonna find the kill there. Creed does finally clean up Cherio. Speed buff on the ground. Looks like it may have been secured by the Poppies there as Creed forced to run away after a good slow crush combination. 1-for-1, but it's Ojo Boom falling for the Poppies and Cherio for Sanguine. So slight victory there for Sanguine in terms of who killed who, but that speed buff going the Poppies' way means the blue team's up on top again.
I don't think that Ojo Boom was expecting that damage so early on, but that is one of the things that Ymir can be pretty notorious for, is just how much his damage and his ultimate, the slow especially, really capturing Poppies inside of that tight zone.
Well, I really do like, I mean, this is the second time we've seen Cherio go for Aegis on a support, and in the first game on the Ares, it didn't make a ton of, like, I kind of got where he was coming from, but I didn't really think it was the best option for him. That time the Aegis turns that entire fight around for Sanguine because Cherio Aegises out the Kraken from Ojo Boom and then is able to get the return damage onto him in order to secure that kill for Sanguine. If Cherio just gets gobbled up by that Kraken very, very quickly in that engagement, Poppy's probably snowball throughout and keep Ojo Boom alive. Smart play there, and while it may pay off this time, it's a matter of how often can Cherio get value out of that Aegis, because if I'm the Poppies, I'm saying, okay, we're just not hitting Cherio with Kraken anymore. We're done with that. It's time to hit different targets.
It's a consideration factor. We pointed it out at the get-go when we saw the Nemesis.
Yeah, Aegis, I knew it was a good pickup. I personally would have picked it up as Ymir, but I wouldn't play Ymir. That's the only difference. So see, everyone's talking about the DJ situation. DJ There's got to be a reason why they picked Guan jungle every game, and it's got to be on him. There's no way someone else forces you to Guan jungle every single game. I think Chang is doing really well in jungle. Depends on which junglers. I don't think Ice Ice or Adapting have the playstyle for Chang'e, but I think every other jungler does. He loves healing, so he's going to med school.
If Sanguine win this one, then they're going to be able to force that three-way tiebreaker. So Papis want to make sure they secure their spot in the SPL with a victory here.
I don't think Papis are looking to cut it close this time. They've had way too many moments where they've lost it being in that. Is it possible? Is it not? And I think that they just want the green light all the way.
And look at what Alexi's gone for here. Instead of going for any boots, he falls behind early. He also picked up a Bumba's Mac to try and secure his own jungle. Hold that thought. Cherio didn't have Vegas that time, and Draco is going to be able to confirm that kill after the double ultimate between the mid and jungle.
And that, my friend, is why I would not pick Ymir. He fucking vanished. He absolutely vanished then. Whereas Ares may have had a tiny bit of a chance.
Waiting for it over the wall. Use the Sentinel to get in range as Gorgonzola distracts him on the backside. Pretty split here from the Papis, Taco.
But there's nothing that Dark Dodo can do. The Papis have already leashed the Gold Fury, and now Dark Dodo's actually on the run as Dalo just jukes out everything by Dodo.
Dalo just had so much confidence there. He was not worried about that I'm a monster at all. The quick reaction, getting the jungler out of danger there. The Papis get both ultimates on cooldown.
How would Ares have survived? Because at this point, he's level, I guess he was not high level. He would have had his 2, which is 20 protections, I believe. So that's a small difference. And he also could have ulted and walked away. Even though I think he would have died if he did that anyway. But he would have just been down to the 2. Would the 2 have saved him in it?
But I like the decision.
I don't think it would have though, but I'm not too sure.
Unit, and once the call is made, there's not a lot of hesitation there. The whole team following up very quickly in that instance. Creed taking this 2v1. Dalo wanted to back. Doesn't even have Boots 3 quite yet. It's been quite some time since he's backed. So no blue buff invade this time around for the Papis.
And I think that this is probably the safer decision by the Papis. You don't need to overextend in this circumstance. You know that the Raven is available and ready to help back up Alexi on the Stone Wukong. And that's already safe enough secure onto a blue buff to really deter any pressure by Creed or Dalo.
Oh, Boom and Draco Marino over here on the left-hand side trying to secure these oracles. Warchi is coming around the back, but both oracles go Sanguine's way. Warchi gonna put a little bit of poke into Boss, so he can poke him out a little bit more in lane even. In fact, even used that Fields of Love recently, but no Purification beats to show for it, so a little bit off the mark that time around for Warchi on this Cupid. Papis taking this game pretty slowly at this stage. They're up 3 kills, about 2,000 gold as well. That experience difference right around the gold difference, right around 2,000 gold and experience. So Papis just willing to take this one a little bit more slowly. Their mid game is pretty strong, Taco, but their late game, is it as strong as Sanguine's with Boss and Dark Dodo both playing characters that do very well in the late game?
All they need late game is for the Nemesis ultimate and the Kraken to land every single time. If that happens, it doesn't really matter necessarily.
So I think with them leaving the Fafnir through and his picks and bans, they haven't even got a strat against it. So I think it was a bit of a useless strat they had, like picking the Ymir. This pass is a raid boss, holy fuck. But they're definitely not out the game. They got a nice pick now. Both objectives are still going to be up. The FG will be up in 1 minute. Gold Fury is up now. So the snowball isn't there just yet. I still have faith Sanguine can win. Do I think they'll win? Nope. But they've definitely still got chance. They've still got signs of life. if they have like a turning fight with the Scylla ult or the fight at Gulf Fury, then we could definitely see some difference in pacing of the game.
From Warchi, so didn't necessarily get what he wanted in the purification beads, but trading ult for ult, not so bad for the Cupid in that scenario.
Eliminating boss's ultimate is still really important because if the Papis were to look for another Gold Fury aggression, they won't have to worry at least about the Wild Hunt being available. But the Papis might also just look to slow play this one out, considering that Draco Marino, while he has his ultimate available, it's kind of risky just trying to bum rush a Gold Fury straight up against Scylla.
Especially without that
bum rush. These casters, man, let's go bum rush the Gulf Fury.
Soon enough. Creed has done a great job of pushing his lead on this right-hand side. Look at his net worth, up 1,000 gold over Alexi at this
Oh,
really playing with fire there. He didn't have his purification beads. That stun hits from Cherio, that could be a dead jungler, but able to get out of danger and just farm it up.
Getting out of danger and farming it up is pretty much not going to be the case for Alexi, as Creed is looking to go in entirely. He's got the bludgeon completely secured, and now the 1 damage is
no.
He just needs 1
no.
Make that 2. Creed still chasing him down.
What?
Make that 3. Creed still chasing him down. Finally finds it with the bludgeon. My man just tanked 57 tower shots, and Gorgonzola still needed to be there to clean it up. Alexi gets soloed, but buys enough time to get his jungler over in order to make the rotation. Sanguine, they're probably going to be happy with that one, Taco, just because
that play was worth it for Sanguine because the Bellona would have still got the Summer Kong still would have got the assist. So even though she got the kill, he's gonna get to the lane faster too. So I'd say that's definitely in Sanguine's favor.
To that Fields of Love, Draco makes the transformation. Dark Dodo shows up, and now Warchi uses the purification beads to get out of the ultimate from Dark Dodo. Dash comes up just in time to save his life against Cherry.
Creed's gonna clean up.
Creed teleports in around the back.
That would have been such a strong play by wrong with sound. That would have been a really strong play by Sanguine, but they fucked up. Like they should have committed to 1 target rather than splitting the DPS.
They are low and no ultimates available.
And they need to keep in mind now, they forced the Bellona TP and the ultimate, so they should have a fight around Gulf Fury now. Now is their time. They've got the advantage now.
With Sanguine coming out on top, the discipline that the Papis had there to Bellona ultimate away rather than in and look for the pick onto Cherio and the possible follow-up, it's just so...
Ooh, what's Warchi doing?
The first one in and the first one out. Dark Dodo gonna find the kill onto him. He does get credit.
What was that, Aegis?
That heart bomb as J-Lo chases down the Dark Dodo.
I think they can still win the fight though, maybe.
Found the kill onto Draco Marino, and now it's a 3v3 brawling here. Oh Boom has that Kraken, waiting to go. Alexi ready to go.
There was an early shield. That's an even exchange, but I don't feel like it should have been. The Ymir should not have died.
Sanguine definitely look like they look a little bit better against this Challenger Cup team in comparison to how they played against Optimus Gang.
I would 100% agree with that, but Cherio doesn't have an Aegis available now, and I'm certain that Boom's aware of it, but he's got his Kraken, so Cherio needs to be especially careful with his positioning, otherwise he's going to find himself in some very unfavorable scenarios.
So, yeah, Cherio already 0, 3, and 3, and just has not been able to survive, even with the use of that Aegis. It just bought him a moment in that last engagement, not enough to save his life as that heart bomb was just waiting and ticking down on him. Warchi sacrifices himself for the greater good in that last engagement. The Oracle Vision was there for Sanguine, so there's no way for Papis to sneak that Gold Fury away from them. It was all a designed bait, but Warchi seemed to be the only one who was really into the idea of fighting in that scenario.
But Warchi was also one who was able to pick up a kill thanks to the heart bomb on the Cupid, which is incredibly important because had he just died there without any sort of trade out, that would have certainly put him behind Boss in the ADC favor, but considering he was able to get that kill, he still managed to stay just slightly ahead of Boss.
Portal Demon goes down in the Papis' favor. Another objective goes their way. Gorgonzola in a bit of trouble, but used the overhead kick to immune the stun coming out of Draco.
So this is where Sanguine shouldn't be giving them a free fire. Like, it's such a bad play giving them free stuff like that. You have to at least have a ward on it if you want to sit around the Gulf Fury side of the map, or at least have a player there to like contest it.
Gets a little bit
And we all know there's some Wukong can't because he's getting so pressured.
boss, and Alexi has kind of stabilized that solo lane as well.
Right now, it's hardly a 2K gold lead, which doesn't really make a significant impact at 14.5 minutes. Dragon Marino taking a little bit too much poke from Dodo, though.
Gorgonzola can't find the route onto this Fafnir.
That's nice, that's nice. Oh, he's fucked.
Away, but the Kraken was waiting for him. Dalo finds that kill. Eagles rally goes in from Creed, trying to catch anyone out right in front of their tower. The rest of Sanguine.
It's really nice for Papis to all stick together as a cluster and peel for the backline. That's why he died like instantly. Oh my god, that's huge. If Scylla ulted earlier, Creed should be dead now. That's a really, really big fight for Sanguine. Guess they got a one return kill onto the solo, but I don't think this Scylla should have died. He should have put his damage out and then ran.
Not necessarily greedy by the Poppies, but Sanguine need to be especially careful trying to pressure in. And
Oh!
Alexi, he's looking for it. He wants Warchi so much.
Great knockback there from Oho Boom. Not enough to finish off Alexi, but he still comes down and finds.
That Wukong was way too greedy. He should have ulted a long time ago. Like, it's if CERN can't get the kill, Ymir is not gonna get the kill.
Solo laner sacrifices his own life for that of Warchi. Dalo 5-0 and 4 though, Taco. That is scary stuff right now if you're Sanguine.
I think that Alexi's sacrifice there made that entire engagement not worth it, considering that the kill went to Dalo. That's the last character that you want picking up the extra golden experience from the most farmed member of your team. So now for Dalo to get that additional little boost, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Sanguine to try and shut down this nemesis.
Creed's gonna get the first tower of the game on the solo side. 500 gold goes the Poppy's way. Creed's actually fallen behind in experience to Alexi, even after that first blood and the solo kill in that lane. Alexi's done a nice job of trying to get himself back into this one, but as you mentioned, punished in that last engagement by Dalo, who we've been talking so much about.
I don't like the breastplate on the Wukong. I think he should have the mystical mail. I think that was a really greedy pickup.
Par with Alexi as far as farm is concerned. He's a Bologna. All he wants to do is spam his 2 and press W at the enemy team and base tank all of their damage.
And he's got quite a bit of health right now. Cherio forced to use his ultimate as he's caught out of the position once more. Cherio trying to stay alive after the Nemesis ultimate, but cannot do.
Poor positioning by Cherio. He's definitely having a rough set, but he should not be stood there. Especially when Gorgon should have called it when he got poked out. Don't fight, don't fight, don't fight, and Cherio should have ran straight out. Or not even being in that position.
Has this option to sacrifice himself again as Gorgonzola blinks in and ults. The Sunder is the one to find the kill as Dark Dodo finds 2 with that Root Crush combination. Draco's gonna knock down Gorgonzola. 4 still alive.
Gorgon's doing a really good job. He's doing the right things, jumping on the backline. I guess he just made a mistake by taking all that poke up there. If he avoided that, then this whole thing wouldn't have happened. But then obviously half of the blame's onto Cherio too.
Might be their chance to secure it. Dodo, though.
Oh,
That was close.
It was almost Sanguine's courtesy of Dodo, but Poppy somehow secure it over the crush damage. Dalo notches his 6th already, 14 in total for the Poppies.
I don't mind the Bombers, but maybe she shouldn't have gone for the Vanguard. I still don't mind these 3 items. Obviously he's done it for faster jungle clear and for heal. It gives you sustain, the Bombers, on your own jungle camps. But I would have went to Mystical Mail after your boots.
Effective. The duo lane for the Poppies going to be able to back to base and spend the goal that they've worked so hard to earn.
And I'm not sure why he's built a Sunder as well. What's a Sunder for? Which damage? Scylla damage? So he's built his own Sunder just for his Scylla damage. That's the only thing I can pick out of that Sunder. He should have went for Fawns. Fawns on top of the Apostle. He can stick to Cupid.
Boom, Creed is the focus as Gorgonzola dies, but doesn't have his Sunder to strip away those protections from the tanky solo laner. Alexi gonna eat some damage after being stuck in the whirlpool after a nice hammer from Draco Marino. Sanguine, they're the ones with the power play for now around.
Sunder's good in solo. if you have something to mix it with, but you're a Sun Wukong and you have what, Scylla damage, that's it. So you have to hope that Scylla maxes, like, combos the shit with you. Otherwise it's useless. Fawns is always like the better choice. They're putting everything into Cheerio, so I believe they can win this team fight. Sanguine can definitely win. They've started off nice. They've dropped someone, but Scylla has ult. Huge Scylla ult. I think they can win this, I honestly do. Never mind, Elixir took the worst route. Oh no, that's a decoy actually. I'm a derp. Nah. That was their time. That was their time to turn the game. They got too scared. Scylla was too scared. He should have been more aggressive. Gorgon, I feel like he could have been a bit more aggressive too. Now they're gonna have to lose the tier 1 middle. It's gone.
For Sanguine, and because of that, they're just falling so far behind onto team fights.
Yeah, these ultimates have been pretty solid thus far from Dark Dodo, as you mentioned, but the damage just, it hasn't been onto the targets that are low, and it's because the targets that are low are usually so far in the back line because of the composition that Sanguine has drafted. There's no way for Dark Dodo to really get to Oho Boomer Warchi if those are the dive targets. Plus the fact that Daylo is 6-0 and 8, has a massive unit, a stone cutting sword, and just running around, you know.
I feel like if the Wukong had a Sunder that fight instead of had a Fawns that fight instead of Sunder, they would have won. They would have won that fight.
And Warchi are still able to exert.
Sanguine want to take this fight. There's a double ultimate onto Cheerio again, and he's going to be the first one to fall once more. Draco in trouble here. I'm a monster.
Scylla reset. Scylla reset again. Nope.
Warchi just able to dash out of danger after cleaning up Alexi. 2 for 1. The Dark Dodo knows that he just missed an opportunity by the skin of his teeth. Now the re-engage happens. Warchi falling low to Gorgonzola, who's completely out of mana, as Creed does a beautiful job of forcing away both damage dealers, leaving Gorgonzola all alone, and Oho Boom's gonna claim that kill for himself.
Every single time, it seems like one of these abilities should be connecting onto a member of the Papis for the cleanup. It's just falling so short, and the Papis are escaping by the skin of their teeth. And now with the T1 falling in the dual lane side, this opens up T2 aggression, and on top of that, Papis are going to be able to back and be ready.
Where's his magic defense now? If he gets Kraken, he's dead every time. Should have been a mystical male into something like mixed, like maybe a urchin. Or if he needs the cooldown, then a discard or something. He couldn't do that. Like, there's no way you can build like this and win unless you're in the lead. You can build this way in the lead. When you're behind and there's these constant team fights happening, you have to have a mystical male with these skirmishes. You have to sit on the hunters or the mages.
Cheerio is an excellent.
I don't think he needed a spirit rope. I honestly think he could have went discard.
On point. So if somebody were to make this pick work into a Nemesis and Poseidon, I wouldn't look at Cheerio and think this guy can't do it. He is more than capable, I think, of having made it work. It's just that the Papis have been even better with their executions on the combo, that it just makes somebody like Cheerio look like they had no idea what they were doing. But it's just been excellently played by both sides, and if anything, I would have preferred to see the shell onto Cheerio in the first active slot, because at least then his team could have the follow-up after he were to fall.
There's a stun onto Draco Marino. Again, Cheerio the focus, uses the Aegis, and the Kraken was weighted beautifully there by Oho Boom. The patience is perfect there. 1 kill, it's on a Cheerio, and immediately the Papis go for their second gold Fury of the game. Boss not going to get here in time. The Papis extend their gold lead up above.
I'll show why he's contesting that. He needs to farm. He's the only way into winning this game. He has to have his crit online. Now he's dead. Yeah, this game's over now. I mean, it's been over for a while, but they've fucked up so much. I feel like with a different support, it could have went a different way. I don't understand why he wouldn't play like Athena or something like that. Go Athena and just build a lot of magic defense. Build a lot of mixed defense. Like, go greedy defense. Go like Sov, Pestilence into an Urchin. Because Thebes is the best aura item, sure, but it's not a greedy item. It's like the most supportive one. Whereas Athena, you're not really a support. You're like a total frontline mainly.
Saying I'm not scared, even if I should be scared. Papis doubling Sanguine in kills right now, 20 to 10. they continue to try and take the fight in the enemy jungle.
Sanguine's biggest problem is they fucked up early, gave them pressure everywhere. Cheerio was like, he's on a bot guard, he shouldn't be playing Ymir. I'm not sure what, maybe it's a ping issue. I know he's been like complaining about his ping recently. Solo laner, he was the main fuck up. He went breastplate into mystical. Now what's he going into, like wingblade? And he's got a sunder. A sunder for what? The only combo I can see is his stun into sunder, but what if that gets beads? Beads Aegis. But imagine him with an 8-second Thorns. That would have changed so fucking much.
Ulted, forced to Aegis and back off entirely. He's in the Scylla ultimate trying to escape, but the rest of his team is just falling victim.
Ooh.
I'm a Monster just barely misses once more. Now Oh Boom just going in on this team fight. He already found Alexi on the right, finds Cheerio in the mid. Dalo cleans up Dark Dodo around his own Phoenix as the tier 2 tower continues to pound into Warchi. Finally, Papis are able to take that one down 3 for 0. The Papis find 3 more kills, another objective as well. Oh Boom just had free reign in that team fight. They left him alone. Alexi couldn't handle him, and then he comes in and cleans up in mid as well.
The entirety of Sanguine just had to fall back so quickly. As soon as Dodo was Nem ulted and forced into his Aegis, he was just on the run from then on. And because of that, using your Scylla ultimate defensively, which has been the main damage dealer for your team, what's Sanguine going to do? There's nobody who's really exerting any damage. Bomb's got a 4-man wild hunt onto the Papis, and it did nothing.
It was all defensive, as you're mentioning, these ultimates that are so good when you're chasing the enemy team. Not quite as good when you're using them to get away. Fire Giant started up now by the Papis, already toast. This thing's already gone. All 5 members with it. Gorgonzola boxing Creed, but the tanky solo lane are getting better of the jungle warriors. Gorgonzola forced to use that Mystic Rush just to get away from the Fields of Love from Warchi. Slight win there for Sanguine that they don't have to worry about that Fields of Love for the time being, but I don't know if that's enough of a win to defend their Phoenix.
And you brought it up again, and it was the Mir pick, and you're just like, I'm not certain what the mindset was behind this. The Ymir was probably to try and wall off the Cupid and the Nemesis, the isolation.
I just don't like this Ymir pick, like, it's so useless. And to have to get an Aegis for him just doesn't work.
Chasing him down. Meditation comes out from Draco, saving Warchi's life for the moment. Alexi finally gonna stomp him down, but Dalo returns with one onto Gorgonzola of his own. 1 for 1.
They need to ignore the Fafnir now. You have to ignore the Fafnir. They're not going to be able to kill him at any point now. You have to rush the Poss and Cupid. Oh, but then again, there's Nemesis. And a fucking fed as fuck Bologna. I don't know what they can do. Keep defending either FG or Phoenix. That's all they can do.
To go into the melee range of the Phoenix, somebody else will probably die, if not a potential team wipe. And for that to happen, Sanguine still have a roster that, or a draft, I should say, that can definitely fight back into a game if they're given the opportunity to do so.
It's a little bit longer for Dark Dodo to become super effective in this one. Starting to become effective. He's level 17, should be very, very close. 2 levels away from maxing out that Sentinel, and then once he hits 20, another power boost once he maxes out his ultimate. Starting to work on that route up to Hootie. I like this double penetration sort of build that he's gone for. Basically every item, he's got 4 penetration items if you really look at it. All 4 of those items have some available to them, but is lacking in just the outright power department thus far. That's what the route up to Hootie is going to be there for.
No, Cupid's good. Cupid is a good pick. He didn't need it against this team. It's good pick against certain gods, but I don't think he needed it. I guess he picked it for a kill potential lane. But I feel like Rama's just like really good too.
The Papis are almost there, Taco.
This is the closest they have ever been to just securing themselves into the SBL, and really this game is entirely in their hands.
It's their game to win right now, without a doubt. Sanguine, they need to hope that the Papis make a mistake or 2.
Is Cupid a CERN counter?
Left side Phoenix Siege
I thought,
push up their wave.
I'd prefer Rama or Hugh Yi against CERN.
There's the ultimate again onto Cheerio, who's already toast. Warchi gonna notch his 7th in this game. Gorgonzola fires off the Sunder.
Cheerio is having a fucking rough game, man. I'm so surprised he picked Ymir. You remember his Ymir game against us?
Chase Boss all the way into his fountain. Left side Phoenix, mid Phoenix, both gone. Only the right side Phoenix remains.
And the Fafnir buff is just absolutely insane. These Phoenixes don't stand a chance against the onslaught of the Poppies.
One more Phoenix to go, and they find it. There's a stun. Arda Gorgonzola, no ultimate available for him, as Warchi continues to try and lead his team into the SPL. I'm a Monster doesn't do enough. The Poppies have all 3 Phoenixes down, and the Titan gets poked out, but the Poppies...
They can just go back, buy an all-in Titan. Even get the portal. Go get the portal, King. Easy. GG.
This is like toying with your food. It feels as though they're playing with their food right now, but I respect the decision to be as safe as possible to ensure that absolutely nothing goes wrong for the Poppies. This is it. They really just they just need this win.
They need right there. They are right there. Optimus Gang, you know, was rooting for the Poppies as well because if they...
Yeah, I said earlier that Shadow Nightmare will quit for uni. I said he'd quit Smite for university. I think I said it earlier on, before they even lost.
It would certainly be the very first time that 2 challenger oppositions would take up the mantle and knock out not only the SPL competition, but just secure themselves in it as well.
This is exciting times. We talk about it all the time, that the competitive scene of Smite has never been better in terms of where the teams are in relation to one another and how competitive it can all be, and they just continue to prove us right. And these Challenger Cup teams really showing up here so far for Europe. Excited to see if the North American Challenger Cup teams can do the same tomorrow.
It also goes to show that
they're playing this so safe. 22k lead. They literally could have just ended right then if they wanted. They don't even need fire.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be where
I guess they're embracing it, like SPL boys.
Stomp on these Challenger Cup teams, and you could say, you know, it always was, oh man, look at the gap between the SPL and even the top Challenger Cup. You know, these teams really need to get to work. Well, the work is done. They've punched their time cards and they put it in, and they're really looking good thus far. The Poppies have one more season to go.
I think Sanguine like started their started the whole org on like the wrong roster.
They will no longer be the relegation gatekeepers if they are to secure this win. And here it
There we go. Boom.
end it all. Fafnir buff immediately, and the Titan is done.
The Poppies have done it. Welcome to the SPL, Warchi and crew. Congratulations.